Now we're in deep. This is going to require a major modification. If you had one bug only, you might be fabricating a lot of stuff. But fortunately, we have two. The original body I still have in the back. So we got extra door tops. Look at that. We got whole extra windshield surround. We got the B-pillar. And the colors almost match. Remember, I cut this roof skin off to get it out of the shop when it was on the table. The reason I'm bringing this in is because this body was picked up by a strap and it pinched. It pinched all the door tops, it pinched the drip rails. So this would have had to been repaired. Fortunately, we have a direct replacement and it's fresh. So that's good news.
Awesome.
Yeah. What we're going to have to do first, I was sitting here thinking about that. Okay, well, what's the next step? It would be easy to say, okay, well, we're just going to build the roof in place and then put the doors together like you would a chop top. But I want to do it the opposite way.
Okay.
With a chop top, typically you chop the top and then build the door frames. But here we have the opportunity to do anything we want. So I want to keep the door window openings proportional to the new vertical windshield. So just to say, if you were to go ahead and chop that 8 inches and you chop this 8 inches, sometimes they look disproportionate. So now I could say, well, this measurement here is going to directly match whatever I do here. We're open to anything. That's where this extra piece of door comes in. See this here? No drip rail at all is going to be here, so don't even pay attention to that mess. That's why it's unfastened. We need to bring this vertical, see? And then decide how this is going to turn back and at what height. So I'm going to do a little sectioning of this frame and then get in to this, and I'll explain how we're going to join it for that vertical look. Over here on the bench, the way that these doors are put together, just like most cars, there's stamped sections and they're joined by spot welds all through here. So the interior actually isn't really connected except for a few tabs. So I'll be able to split this right in half by only cutting on the outside of this. Check this out. This is going to be a lot. This is going to be a lot of cutting and re-welding. So it's going to be a slow day. So one reason I did that is going to become apparent as soon as I try to attach this to the car, but in these doors you see this big bulky thing. That's what holds on the rear view mirror. You can see somebody just glommed a bunch of body filler in there to shave the mirror, but I want to use this sheet metal to extend that door. It's a little hard to explain, but once I cut this off, it'll be a little better. So what all that fussing added up to is, see, now it's just one piece of steel instead of that extra reinforcement, etc. Just gonna hammer this flat real quick. And the reason I took all that structure out is because now, when this comes vertical, see that? We have metal, and there's still the hole for the mirror, but we can work with that. So I could see we still need to get into cutting this, or maybe we don't. I'm gonna take off all this paint. So there's a lot of stuff that I set up in advance because I sort of know where I'm going. I just wanted to share this little item. When I put this windshield in, I used a bunch of flat stock. See this here? It's 1/8 by half. And see how that's sticking out? I left that in place. See, that establishes a door gap. It's a good bumper. That way when this comes in, see, I could set it right up against there, and that gets cut out later. But see, this still needs to come forward. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this whole top piece out of the way. This is where things start to get really loose, because it's just like, whoa, like, where's the map? Where are you going? There is no map. We're making up our own stuff here. Right, see now that this can come through. And I think I'm gonna push that in just a little more, and that'll get cut off later, but that's a good bumper. So we have that as a definite, and we can push this right up to that. Let's get that.
And so that establishes, I want to look at you because I have a question. So that establishes the door gap all the way down. So it's like even.
That's the mark of a professional, having clean door gaps all the way through.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm setting up for that. There's a term called gapping the car, where people use body filler and use a tool to make everything perfect.
But you like to do it just metal work.
The less body filler, the better. There will be a mega ton of filler in this car because it's that crazy. But yeah, the idea is, proportion with the window openings and the door gaps. It makes it all look clean. The hood gaps, etc. So this is just setting up for that.
Ah, okay. I understand now.
So this is hitting in here as well. I'm gonna have to get in there and trim out some more. All right, I'm gonna clean the paint off this and just give it a tack. All right, so I'm running into some interior interference. I'll explain. So I thought I could tack this on, but maybe not. So see, this is needing to come forward even more, but it's hitting here. And that is already like, we need to have the inside of the door in place. So that's going to interfere with the windshield. I'm thinking because it's going to get so radically chopped, maybe the curve is going to start to come back right through here. See what I'm saying? Maybe I'm going to have to just section this off. Again, that's a lot of information on just such a broad statement, but that's where we're at. Yeah, that's got to be there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off right here. I'm going to attach this to the door separate and then chop that. There's a lot of filler in that door around the mirror, so I'm going to tap this in a little bit, and I'm just going to lap it. This is already low from being crushed by someone over tightening the mirror. So, baby steps, right? You got to start somewhere. Just take this, set it up to that little block I mentioned. That was the gapping device. And just tack it for now. You saw how the windshield came together. Everything is just kind of loose and tacked until you make it count. Yeah, nice gap right up there. One reason that I cut the door apart like I did is because we're going to need to change this radius like dramatically. It's going to have to be a hard bend to turn back to there. But that's what I'm thinking. We're going to cut 8 inches out of that and then begin sectioning this so I can give it that hard bend. Let me take all the paint off of this. All right, so I was measuring this yesterday afternoon, thinking about what we were laying out on the very first part of the episode. And you see, with the window rubber, which is about that fat, we do come out to about a 6-inch windshield. So that does add up to an 8-inch chop. Pretty dramatic. So I'm going to take 7.5 inches off of this vertical post and then start to bend it. See, this is something to think about also. It's not 7.5 inches this way, because that's not vertical. It's 7.5 inches this way. So you go 7.5, measure out here, put your line across. See, that changes the whole show, doesn't it? Like so. This is where your dyslexia could really get you. Again, to operate on the side of safety, I'm not even cutting close to that line. I'm going down here. So we have our line. Now we can compare. See, this is what I was saying. This is getting us out of trouble now. It's getting us out of trouble with the other parts. I like it. So we got a 6-inch window opening for the windshield. Let's see what this offers us on the side door. Just to say, that looks reasonably parallel. Yeah, 9, 8.5. So if we were to come down to that line, roughly, that puts us at 7-ish. 7. That looks too low, huh?
Yes. Yes, it does.
How about that?
Yeah, that looks more.
So if we were to take this and bend it a little bit so that that radius came through nicer, that would actually raise this up just a hair more.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
That would be proportional.
Yeah.
So now let's make some slices. You thought that windshield was flimsy when it was all cut apart? Wait till you see this. So see how I cut through everything except for this outside edge? So you take that, Bada bing, bada boom.
Ooh.
A little curvature in it.
I was wondering how you're going to do that.
Yep, so with it flat on the table, I'm going to tack all those little pieces shut and see how it lines up. A lot of people might not realize how much chopping goes into a chop top. Typically, it's a lot of this action, and the finishing work is just crazy amount of time.
Well, that's kind of one thing when Gene was here and we were talking about chopping a convertible and how, you know, I was amazed that you could chop a convertible. And he's like, oh, yeah.
But because all the moving parts, the geometry
Yeah.
gets all different.
So now seeing you chop, after talking to him and him describe a chop, it's starting to make sense.
Just going to use this as a little leverage. I can just push it right together on that. And I'm keeping it flat on the table so that this surface stays nice and flat. See how it looks. Pretty curvy. Just going to set this up so I can mock it up a little bit and look back at it. Try and just get a little hint of proportion. Like, does that look okay with the windshield? I think it looks too big.
It seems like it curves up a little higher than it should.
I agree. Front's got to come down.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're getting into the ballpark here. Yeah, we're still at 8.5. It's got to come down 2 inches, minimal. So that being said, I think I'm going to leave this curve because I like it. I'm going to come into here. I'm going to cut this down.
Oh, and then that will bring the whole entire thing down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to do one more cut here and bring that in a little bit. Brings this down into a little bit better alignment. I'm going to bring that down 2 inches. Inch and a half to be safe. 6.5 to 7, 6.5. So it's got to come up just a little bit in the back. Looks pretty funny with the windshield being way up on top like that and the side windows being so far down. See, this is one thing where the drawing and the actual car are different. See, in the Bug, the windshield's way up. It drops down to the door. In a perfect world, that would be coming right through. And we can raise that. We're not going to have a body line in the side of the door. I'm going to slap that roof skin on there and take a look with the roof in place. I think that'll help a lot.
What are you thinking?
Infinite possibilities. Back's got to come way down. Yeah, back of that door window's got to come up just a touch. See, it's starting to come together. All right, I'm going to tack that in. I'm going to put a couple braces. I'm going to capture this right here. I'm going to put a vertical brace, and I'm going to tack weld that because the back of this has to get cut off to finish the door into the back. Most important thing here is to keep this parallel. There will be a flat piece of glass for the window, so if this is skewed in any way, the glass is never going to roll up and down. That's a decent start. You can see I got it braced so it isn't super loose. But now we have to finish this part. I have to make it come forward. Johnny and I had originally tilted the B-pillar, and I think I'm going to do the same thing. The good news with this is we have this extra Bug door, so we can use this portion of it, elongate that, and then have this come down and connect. Or maybe I'll leave it vertical. What are you thinking?
I think making it go forward a little bit will look cool.
I think it'll make it look cramped.
You think it'll make it look cramped?
Because check this out. The back is so long, I was looking at it proportionally.
Mm-hmm.
So the more cramped you make this look, the less there is back
Ah,
there.
I got you.
Let's try it both ways. I'm going to tack it on, see what happens. I wish this door wasn't crushed because then we could just piece this right in. Boom, done. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty crushed. The inside is fine, but the outside is really mushed. I think it's going to be worth me cutting this similar to what I did on that door and fixing this. That way there's two welds, really simple. Get all this aluminum trim out of here. So I think I'm going to leave this structure. I'm going to cut it right here. I'm going to repair that and plug it in. Let's make a quick line with a marker. Imagining a join somewhere in here. Cut that off right there. Take that and fix it. Yeah, now we can get in there and hammer that out. Got a little window to hop in there. Hit it with a chisel. Ooh. Hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Dead fixed. Close.
Like new.
Close. I'm gonna put on a little anvil here, like so. Now you hear it ring. There it is. Hot doggity dig. A lot of times with a chop top, these windows in the doors will get leaned in like this because your top is getting physically smaller, but we have the freedom to not have to do that. So this is going to be a shot straight down. How much? That much. Let's measure. Yeah, see, these are looking pretty parallel. So you kind of only get one chance at this. And you know I'm a risk taker. So like everything, I made my marks. I'm going to come to the long side of that and then slowly move in until it's just right. Because I ain't that much of a risk taker. We only got one piece of Volkswagen left. Yeah, you can see we're just that much off. A little nip, and we're there. See the longer door. That's what I was thinking. If the side window was smaller, I think it would take away from the long back of the car.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I know this only because the yellow bug, that's what we did. We angled the A-pillar and it was starting to look weird. And then when I took the roof off, it was like, whoa, look at this. So that's one thing I learned from the other project. And got it. Let's take another look at it. This is going to be a whole different story. I'm gonna have to do a lot of work in here to make this happen. These are gonna have one-piece windows, so these braces get cut out, etc. Primarily, what I was trying to achieve today is to get this curvature in line. I'm gonna mimic this on the other side in the same fashion. Then another day come on the inside of the doors, but we still got a billion hours to go on this. Just a good example of how long this stuff takes. Throw that fiberglass back up here, cut this so that door can shut. So pretty much what you get is what you see. It's developing. A lot more to go, but it's getting close. No fun and games in this workshop today.
No fun and games. No fun. Give me your mean look.
Hmm?
Give me your mean look.